So I said I wasn't going to be buying plants for myself personally for a while now, but people have been blessing me. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Steve with I Love Plants. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel, you guys. Listen, I told y'all I'm done buying plants for a minute. Like, I'm going to be focusing on some other things, especially with when it comes to plants, pots, aesthetics, making the ones that I have now already look beautiful. And sometimes you got to get an accessory for that. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing a lot more of my time on the actual aesthetic of my place and potting my plants in some nice pots. You know, doesn't have to be expensive, but something special. Okay, so I'm actually going to be attending a paint and sip session pretty soon so that I can get a pot and paint it my own style and all that stuff and make one of these happy babies a new home. All right. But that does not go on to say that people have not been blessing me with new plants. So I got to give a quick shout out to Michelle from MFAT Plants out of Louisiana. For the 5 plants on this table are from her, and from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you doing this for me. Okay, because I wasn't going to do it, so thank you. All right, but what I wanted to do was just give you guys a sneak peek to 5 of the new plants I have in this collection. I mean, I have a lot of new Hoyas that were gifted to me, so I'm going to do a separate video just on Hoyas because that's what I said I was going to do. So let's get into the first plant. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the first plant I have here is this Sansevieria Whale Fin. And as you can see, it's leaning. It's leaning, it's leaning, it's leaning. I'm going to have to repot this plant pretty soon so that I can avoid the lean because to me, I just don't, you know, that's just not aesthetic. Since we're talking about aesthetics, not aesthetically pleasing for me, right, to look at. But this is a Sansevieria Whale Fin. You guys, I have one already. It's smaller. And my experience with this plant, you guys, is that it needs bright indirect light, but not bright direct sunlight, you guys, because as you can see, that's what this plant was getting for a little bit. And I want to say this is sun stressing. I'm hoping that this is sun stressing and not some other root cause because the leaf is a little bit more yellow than I would like it. It's typically like a dark green leaf like my other one, but it is what it is, you guys. It's still healthy. It looks good. I forget this plant even needs water. That's how often I water it. So we're talking about maybe every 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, maybe 6 weeks that I give this plant some water. And it's in a really, really, really chunky, airy mix, you guys. It does not hold on to moisture at all, which is fine because they don't like it. I lost a whale fin like that before. And it's a nice plant, you guys. It's really nice. I think my auntie has one of these plants. So shout out to you, Pam, for copping a whale fin. I like the plant. It's nice. Michelle, thank you. Oh, and here's my baby. This is my baby whale fin right here. So as you can see, what I might do is actually might plant them together. You know, like have this one in the back, this one in the front, and do this kind of aesthetic. What do you think? You think that's something that, you know, might look good? Put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm trying to be a little bit more creative when it comes to these installations here for these plants. What y'all think? Put it in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, you know me to be the Pothos King. I love Pothos. All right. I am describing myself as a Pothos King only based on my love for the plant. This is not to say that I take amazing, extraordinary care for them or anything like that. I'm not trying to give myself the moniker based on that. I just love these plants. So you have been telling me for the longest time to get a Cebu Blue Pothos, all right? And thanks to Michelle, she heard my cry and she gifted me a Cebu Blue Pothos, which is amazing. Now, I got this, of course, in Grandma's Corner, you guys, right underneath a grow light. It's doing really, really good. As a matter of fact, it's growing substantially. Since I got it, I want to say about maybe 5 weeks ago, it's already beginning to hang a little bit. All right, it's growing outside of the pot. Now, I am on the fence, you guys, because part of me wants to grow this plant up and get the leaves to grow bigger and everything. And then part of me wants to have this plant trail down. So put it in the comments. What do you think I should do? I mean, I'll take your, opinion and everything. Let me know. All right. Now I treat this plant just like all of my other pothos, you guys. I let probably the top 2 inches of the soil dry out before I give this plant another watering. That typically takes about maybe 7 to 10 days, sometimes 14, just depending on how dry my area is. So, I use a moisture meter. That's my saving grace. The moisture meter has come clutch, you guys, for my plant care. It is super duper clutch. It's made me much more aware of when I should water it just based on the reading that it gives me. And so this is, again, I used a moisture meter for this plant specifically because the soil is more on the dense side, so I can stand to put it in more so of a chunky mix, but I'm going to understand the feeding schedule with this particular soil anyway. So I love it. It's growing fantastically. Again, it gets probably about 12 hours of artificial light, from a grow light every day, and is doing very well. So again, thank you for this plant. Oh, I fertilize this plant on a monthly basis too. So it's due for its next round of fertilizer in the next watering. All right. So I do that in the spring, summer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next two plants in this list are plants that I really didn't know too much about. One is, I think they call them platycerums or ceriums. They are staghorn ferns. All right. Now, I didn't know too much about ferns except that from what people were telling me and what I've read online is that they need very, very high humid conditions, which I don't have here. Okay. So that's number one. The other part was that it's epiphytic, which means that they actually grow on things for support. Like they don't grow in soil, they actually grow on other plants or trees in nature. And that was a problem for me because that for me is a little bit more of a that's more of a step that I just don't want to take. Okay, so typically what you would do is you would see these staghorn ferns attached to like wood planks and hanging or on someone's wall. Okay, and they grow like that. They typically you can see them grow like that, vertically. Okay, or horizontally, right? Like they're growing like this, and or they have like a sphagnum moss ball around the root ball, and they grow that way. They require a lot of light, so that's something that is in limited capacity here with all the other plants that require a lot of light that are by my window and in grandma's corner. And so I'm on the fence really about keeping this one. Maybe a good old plant swap might do it well, but I know my girl Mel G was like, Steve, this thing would look good on your wall. And so I'm holding on to it and I'm growing it. So again, it does not like soil because it's epiphytic. So put it on a wood plank, let it absorb moisture from the fronds and everything like that. It does not like direct sun because direct sun can actually scorch the fronds. I don't want to do that. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. Again, it's doing very well, you guys. It's actually going to tell you when it needs a drink because the leaves will start to droop down low and then you just soak it, you guys. So you want it to completely dry out and then you soak it. Some people just place it in the sink full of water or a bowl full of water and they just submerge the root ball in the bowl and let it take up as much moisture as it needs for 10-15 minutes and then let it just drip dry and then hang it back on the wall. We'll see. That sounds like a lot of work for me, so we'll see about this one. All right, you guys, the next plant that I really didn't know too much about is this here goldfish plant. Now, I'm not going to even try to pronounce the official name for it. It's like Nema Takis or something like that, but I'll put it down below. But this is a goldfish plant, you guys, and I didn't really know too much about it. In fact, I know so little about it. Look, I'm picking off dry leaves. I know so little about it that I actually let it dry out, and it doesn't like to do that. Okay, so again, I lost some leaves, you guys. It was looking a lot better than this. And so something says, Steve, you know what? Look up how to take care of this plant. All right. And I found out that this plant loves moist soil. All right, like the soil has to be consistently moist. Doesn't want to be soggy, but it wants to be moist, right? And these plants are actually really, really pretty when they get mature. So they actually bloom when it has enough humidity and enough light, you guys. So it does require bright indirect sunlight for 12 hours, like 12 hours of light, you guys. Now, I don't particularly get that from my east facing window at all, but I doubt that I'll get blooms in the conditions that it's in right now, but I am taking a lot better care of it. And part of it is because of the watering. Now, what I do with this plant, I don't typically use a moisture meter with this plant because it needs to be moist, right? But what I do is I pick up the plant just to see how heavy it is, right? And so I actually just watered this plant 2 days ago. It's pretty heavy right now, and the leaves look good. The stems, the petioles are upright. It looks good. I mean, this here, whatever, right? But it looks good. I'm getting new growth, right? So it's doing all right. But this is a goldfish plant, you guys. Lots of waterings, lots of light for the blooms, and maybe fairly decent humidity. Mine is in ambient conditions. It's going to get what it gets, but it's not going to thrive like you see in pictures, unfortunately, unless my conditions change. But it's a nice plant. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last plant I want to talk to you today about is this Philodendron Green Congo Nuclear. You guys, this was a wish list plant of mine, I think in 2025. I finally got one about a year ago, and it still looks like this. Okay, so this is my theory, right? Now, certain times, remember the chart that we had to do when we were in grade school where we had to look at the genes of families, a mom and a dad, and, the mom had the tall and the short gene, and the dad had the tall and the short gene. And so if they had four kids, one of the kids was going to be short, right? I think that's this plant right here. You know, it does not grow, you guys, at all. I promise you, it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow. It doesn't grow. And I bought this plant at a time when green Congo nuclears were crazy expensive because they were being released in tissue culture. They were still very rare and all that stuff. And I just think that I got a small plant, you guys. Like, I just don't think he's growing. And I named this power plant. Okay, that's the name, power plant, and this is as big as it gets. What kind of power? So I ended up being gifted this plant right here, you guys. This is another green Congo nuclear. I'm sure they're about the same age at this point, and as you can see, one looks bigger than the other, of course, right? And so I just think this was just a bad batch, so to speak. And it is what it is. I mean, he's still alive and he's still putting out new growth and he's still, doing his thing in a small way. And he stays. It's adorable, isn't it? Right? But now I got one that can actually do what I needed to do, right? And that is to grow up, to get bigger, to look lush and full. And these plants are self-heading, of course. And I'm a fan of self-heading philodendrons, you know that. And I actually really love the leaves, you guys. I love how the leaf unfurls. It actually unfurls pink from the undercarriage, so to speak. So underneath the leaf is pink. Is stunning, you guys. It's really, really stunning. The petioles are pink when it starts to unfurl, and you guys, it's just a really, really beautiful plant. It variegates lime green all over the plant, and no leaf looks the same. So this is one of my favorite plants, you guys, that I got in the last gifting, and I'm so grateful. So thank you guys so much. Okay, in terms of watering, I watered this like my other self-heading philodendrons probably every 10 days or so. Wait till about 2 inches from the top gets dry, and I give it a nice little watering. And so far, so good, you guys. I'm very, very happy with this plant. I'm actually happy with this plant too. You know, it's still alive. I've had it for probably a year, almost a year and a half now. If I believe about a year and a half, because I remember I bought it, it was freezing outside. And so, yeah, two green Congo nuclears. It's going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito in twins. That's all I can say. All right. But definitely get yourself one if you can find one. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. 5 new plants that are in my collection, all gifts, you guys. So, listen, this is what I want to say in today's Steve Talk is you never know who's going to be placed in your life to sort of change the trajectory of where you're going. We all ask for, guidance and support and help and everything, but I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that you still have yet to meet everyone who's going to impact your life in a positive way. And the reason why I say that is because social media has a way of bringing people together. Social media is a good and a bad thing, but when we use it for good, it is an extraordinary way to connect with people. And so, Michelle from MFAB Plants in Louisiana, I'm not sure what it is about me that made her feel a need to bless me with plants, but it was there. And so I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you for doing that. I also met another woman who is helping me out in an extraordinary way as well. And I just met her, and I met her through social media. And she lives here in Dallas, and she's amazing. Her name is Dre. She's amazing. And so, I just met her, and she has changed my life in the matter of a week and a half. Okay. And so, my thing is this, you guys, like, when things seem so thick that it's almost like, why even bother? Like, I should give up. Okay. I promise you, however you want to call it, God, universe, consciousness, whatever you give that type, the name, whatever name you give that energy, that helps stuff happen. Okay, steps in and gives you exactly what you need when you need it. Okay. And sometimes it waits to the last minute. Okay. For things to sort of fall in line and everything, but it happens. Okay. So my charge to you all who are on the fence of just throwing in the towel, and you guys are beat up against the ropes, is to don't throw in the towel. Do not wave the white flag. You guys, there is still hope. There is still things that can happen in your life that can change the direction of where you are and where you're heading. Okay, so I want to just instill that in you today, you guys, that all is not lost. God hears your prayers. There will be things put in your life in a way to make you see that. Okay, so my thing for you is to just keep going. Do not stop. Do not let anybody tell you that you're not worth it and you need to stop. Don't hear any of that. Believe in yourself, you guys, and there will be some orchestrated way of just circumstances that happen to show you that someone was listening, and here is the thing that you need in the moment that you need it most. Okay, so please, please, please do not give up. Do not give up. Okay, I just met 2 women in the course of not even 2 months, who one gifted me like 15 plants, and the other one has just totally changed the trajectory of what I'm doing right now, business wise. So, all is not lost, you guys. All right, believe in yourself, love yourself, and good things will start to happen. All right, I'll talk to you soon, and yeah, see you on the next one.